is how to use the Grip Studio platform that has been provided for us. So let me show you how exactly you can build out a web page in the shortest amount of time using the Grapes.js Studio. So like I pointed out, if you navigate to app.grapesjs.com/studio, this is what you should see. This is the basic building block that you should have, or this is the landing page you should have. Let me just roll you through what you should have around here. So let's begin with here. Here's the pages, and the pages here contains every page that you should have or you can have. So if you want to create a new page, you just click on add page, and then I can add more page. So this could be the about page, something like that. About, let me rename it. All right, about. And this could be something like contact us, so you can rename it contact. All right, now you could also choose to duplicate a page. So say for example, I want this page in 2 places, so I could just click and duplicate the page like so, and I can name it whatever I want. So it could be blog, like that. All right, then I could also choose to delete pages. So you click on the page first, and then you click on the menu icon, and then you can delete the page, and it goes off like that. So same thing with this, you can delete it like that, and it goes off. Great. Now we've been able to talk about the pages and the add button, and this is of course a drop down to show you or close it off. The next thing is the blocks. So if you want to add, say, blocks to your page, this is where you add the blocks from. So if you click on block, you should be able to have basic blocks like this. You should be able to have forms and extra. Of course, there is plugins that you could add to add some more stuff, like to add table and stuff like that. So if you want to add this block, you just drag it and drop it here on the page, and immediately you have the block. And this is actually a row with a particular column inside. One column, you could have this 3-column one here, and then here in the properties tab, when you click on this here in the properties tab, you should be able to make changes to it. So here you could line it up on the same line here. So I'll just go back here, and here in the layers tab is where you have everything that you are working on. So you just click it here, and once you click here, you could change this to, say, flex, and then change the direction to row. So once you change it to row, you should have it like this on one line. See, like so. All right, great. That is it with the row. It could be both ways. That's just it basically. That's what you really need to know. But could delete all of this off. And what more can you do with block? Basically anything. So you could now choose to add a form to maybe this block, and it has inputs already that you can make changes to. All right. You could maybe add a heading here and stuff like this. We'll be working on all of this so that you see how these things can come together if you do it really nicely. I know this is not looking good, but this is to demonstrate to you how to use or move around the studio. All right. Then on this side, you could choose to show the component outline to show you, just a little grid around these items and see where exactly you've been able to put in a particular element or not, see if they align to each other and all that stuff. You can remove it and all the tiny grid line will go off, but I love having it on the page. All right. Then if you want to preview, you just click on this eye icon. As soon as you click on preview, it takes you to the preview view, and once you click on this other eye icon, it takes you back to the studio. Then there is the full screen mode to take you to full screen. If you love to work on full screen, I love working on full screen actually. So let's keep it at that. Now, if you want to generate the code for this particular landing page that we have here, you just click on the code icon here, and then you have the code that you can now copy into your own editor. All right. Now, I'll just take this off from the full screen mode so that you can see me while I'm talking. And then you can import a different code. So say, for example, you don't like what's going on here and you have your already made code, but you would love to make some touches to it. You can just import your code. And so you need to override what is here if you're importing your own code. So once you import your own code, it overrides what you have here. All right. Then you could just choose to clear this page. So if I click on this, it's a clear page, everything goes off. But you can also undo this after you are done clearing. So you can just click on undo and it brings back everything on the page. You can click on redo to redo a particular stuff. And here is the setting. So in the setting, you have about, you have embed studio, you have open project, save project, load project, install app, and stuff like that. You know, I told you you can install plugins. So if you click on this, it should take you to install this app, maybe in your browser, but you could also install plugins. So there's a lot that you can do with this, and you can choose to make this light mode, dark mode, or keep it at auto. I love keeping it at auto. Then this other part is the stars panel and the properties panel. So here in the stars panel, you can make changes to anything you have here. So for this row, for example, you could choose to, you know, maybe change the layout here. You could choose to change the background color. That's the most obvious one. So if you change the background color to something else, maybe something like red, it changes to red like that. So it's just like that. All right. And now the issue I'm having here, which is making this flicker, is because here in the stars tab, I didn't change the state to a normal state. So it's been in hover state. So it makes it only show what I'm styling only when I hover over it. Do you notice? So if I change this from hover to the no state level and I do the styling, then it will be as it should be. All right. So let's do the row and then get rid of the styling I did here. All right. So let me get rid of this styling so that there's nothing else to see. So I'll get rid of this and put it back to the regular state. For this one too, I have to do, you know, something similar. Notice that it was in the hover state too. So you make sure you remove it from the hover state. But let me get it away from the hover state first. So let me undo everything I did in the hover state and return it back to the regular state. Notice that it doesn't flicker. Now that I'm in the regular state, I could just choose to you know, put this on the right line. So like this, you can now have everything sitting even without having to hover over it. And for this too, I could do, you know, something similar for this form. So it's now in the regular state. I could just choose to come to here and of course change it, and you have it staring at us there. So this is a walkthrough through what the studio looks like, the different tools in the studio. So the next thing in the studio should be to show you how to use the studio proper. So let's build out something. So build with studio. So by the way, we call grapes.js, and then for the Grape Studio, we'll call it Studio for short, and then for the Grapes Studio SDK, we'll call it SDK for short. So in case you don't hear me talk about Studio, I'm talking about Grape Studio, and if you hear me talk about SDK, just know that I'm talking about Grape Studio SDK. All right. So let's check off this how to use Grape Studio, and